Hi, welcome back to Aggie Cakes. This video is about me making a pumpkin shaped cake, and I started off with two 6-inch molds. You can buy these at Amazon or any cake supply store. So what I first did is cut half of the mold in half. Then I put the simple syrup, and then I'm adding whipped cream in between the layers. That's the bottom layer. It wasn't a sphere. I did make a small cut so it could be even on the cake board. And there I am putting more whipped cream on the second layer. There's a total of 4 layers. That's the third one on every. My vanilla cake is pretty moist, but I want to make sure that it's moist enough by the time they cut into it. So it was a total of 4 layers. About to put the last layer. It's round from the top. I did want to make a small cut in on the top of it so I could put the stem towards the end. And I am using whipped cream. I colored it with pink gel food coloring. And right there, what I'm doing, I am making lines from the bottom to, upward, so we can get a nice type of the figure, the pumpkin figure. So I would say I used about a total of 5 to 6 cups, maybe 4 to 6 cups of whipped cream in total. What I have on my hand is an acrylic, a small acrylic thing that I cut, and then I used it. It works very good when trying to smooth out the lines. I believe I have showed you this in some of my other videos. It gets really straight lines. And for the pumpkin itself, it made it look very real, or at least fictitious, because pumpkins aren't pink. So with a smaller acrylic comb, I guess you could say, I finished making sure that the edges of the cake looked nice and round. What I'm doing there is making the top part smooth. I did use my airbrush to give it a little bit of more dimension. And the first part, I did put some like pearl color so it could be a little shiny, and that's what I'm doing there. And then after that, I did use some pink to give it that more of a natural faded look. So first I put some lines, as you can see there. They're very dark, and after that I want to make sure and kind of fade it in so it looks more natural. I grabbed the acrylic comb and I started to kind of disguise, I guess you could say, the strong lines that I had put with the airbrush. So I went ahead and did that until I felt comfortable. So I felt like, okay, the pumpkin looks good. And since I wanted it to be even more glittery, I did use a Wilton glitter that I've showed you guys before as well. For the stem, I did use fondant. I used brown color. I didn't have brown, so I did have to, put some gel food coloring on a white fondant. And then with the fondant tool, I put lines going through the whole stem so it could look more real. I did all that. Then after I did that for a couple of minutes, I went ahead and put it on the top where I had already made a hole, and it basically will stick because what's around it is the whipped cream. For the leaves, I did use a leaf tip. It looks somewhat like I guess I would have to get the tip number that I used. But you can find those anywhere, any cake supply store, online, Amazon. I have quite a few of them, but they're fairly easy to find. Second, I did get another piping bag. I didn't put any tip, I just cut a small hole at the bottom so I could make, you know, the little squiggly lines that run down some of the pumpkins, or at least, you know, cartoon like, which I found that it looked really cute. What I have there is water. That's really just water. That way the stem could have a brighter color, because it did have powdered sugar on it, so it made it look dull. So with just a little bit of water and the brush, it made it look like a shiny brown color. But this is the final look. I do appreciate every single person that watches these videos, and we'll see you later.